Hey everybody, welcome to Passion Works Yoga. I'm Erin, and today we'll be doing a practice that can be done either on a mat or seated in a chair. So you can take your pick and start to get settled in and set up. You'll want to have a strap for today's class, which could be a yoga strap that has the 2 rings on the top, or something like a belt or a scarf. A block will also be handy today for what we start with in class, so if you have one, great. If you don't, that's totally fine. If you're choosing to start on the mat, go ahead and start seated in a cross-legged position if that's comfortable for you, or feel free to lay down. That would be fine too. Starting in like a seated mountain position. So I'll show a little variation that I learned from a teacher of mine, Matthew Sanford, with a block and a strap as support for Tadasana. You can bring the block in between your legs if you're setting up in this way. It's optional, so don't feel like you have to. You'll bring your strap underneath your legs so you can actually create a loop with your strap. So kind of securing your strap with the loose end going through both of the loops and the loose end coming back through one of the loops. That enables you to tighten the strap and secure it. I like to move that middle part of the strap so it's not actually touching my legs. It's not pressing in or kind of digging into my body in any way. So if you have that set up, take your time. There's no rush. We're going to take a few moments to settle in meditation. So really wherever you are, just starting to notice what is touching the ground. Feet, your sitting bones, any other parts of the body you notice connected to the earth. If you're set up with these props, you might feel how it might change this shape for you. And for me, I feel kind of like this extra reminder to hug my legs in, to lift the chest. It's almost like a natural feeding into the spine. The legs gently squeezing together, the feet pressing into the earth, feeding up the legs into my spine, all the way up to the top of my head, just this long, lengthened shape. Your hands can rest where they feel comfortable. And feel free to close your eyes. I realize I just had my eyes closed that whole time. Just knowing that you can have your eyes closed or open, either is fine. It's kind of a way to focus inward if it's helpful for you. Scanning the body for any areas of tension, softening a little bit where you feel tension. Finding that balance between alert and at ease in your seat. And just for the next few moments, noticing your breath, just noticing how it's moving through your body. No need to judge or change or have an expectation of what the breath should be like. What is your breath doing right now? I'll read a little excerpt from the book The Yamas and the Niyamas by Deborah Adele. I've mentioned this book quite a bit over the past couple months. We'll be looking at the Yama Aparigraha. And Aparigraha means non-possessiveness, also known as non-attachment or letting go. And using the breath as a teacher to dive a little deeper into this practice, this principle of Aparigraha. Deborah Adele says, what if we could trust life like we trust the breath? What if we could take it all in, the nourishment of the moment, and then let it go fully, trusting that more nourishment will come? And I'll read that one more time now and one more time at the end of practice. It's time kind of taking in the message, what it means to you, the breath as teacher. What if we could trust life like we trust the breath? What if we could take in all the nourishment of the moment and then let it go fully, trusting that more nourishment will come? Wherever you are, letting your next in-breath bring nourishment into the body, feeding the soul. And let your exhale release, let go, knowing that your next in-breath is just around the corner. And we'll continue to explore that constant exchange of receiving and giving that the breath reminds us in each moment. You might ask what else your breath has to teach you. What is your breath telling you right now? You can gently let your head drop, letting the chin comes down towards the sternum. And just take a little bit of movement in your head here. Sometimes I like to think about it like a bobblehead, just sort of letting your head go and releasing a little bit. Shoulders soften away from the ears. You may start to flutter your eyes open. And then gently start to lift your gaze up. We're thinking about the earth kind of feeding the body from the ground up, from the base of the body up. Your next in-breath, let your arms come up and overhead. As you exhale, lower your hands down to your sides, kind of like the arms are floating. Inhale, arms come back up. And exhale, swimming the arms down. Take a couple more rounds, finding a rhythm with your breath and movement. Exhale, arms come down. Sometimes I like to think about the breath as helium, filling the arms, floating the arms up. And then a slow going release of the arms back down. Moving through water. 2 more times. Inhale, feet press down, chest lifts up. Exhale, hands down to your sides. Last one, lifting of the collarbones, maybe even look up. And exhale, hands come back down. Let's just pause here for a moment in the middle, taking a slow breath in and out. We'll be taking some pauses like this throughout the practice, an opportunity to kind of tune back in and check in with the breath. What does it have to say to you right now? What could it teach you in this moment? Let your next inhale bring the arms up again. And as you exhale, let's twist to one side. So hand behind you and the other hand on the opposite knee. Looking over the shoulder, take a moment here to gaze back behind you, deepening the twist. You might even see if you can look a little bit farther over the shoulder than you think you could without straining the neck. On your next in-breath, come back through the center, arms up. Twist to the other side, exhale. Looking over the shoulder, the spine is long, breath is steady. You might find a gaze somewhere that your eyes fall behind you. And then go a little bit further, look a little bit further. Maybe not even with your head and your neck, but your eyes. And gently release through the center, arms stretch up. All right, hands come down to your sides. Breathe in. And breathe out, scanning for any sensation that's most prominent. Sensation on the skin, inside. Next breath in, stretch your arms up. And lower one hand down to your side. Stretch up through your lifted hand. Your hand that's lowered can be on your chair or on the ground next to you. And then gently start to lean over. Leaning to one side. And feel free to explore some movement here, like a circling of your arm. Maybe you like to bring your hand behind your back to give your arm a little bit of a rest. You decide. We're here for another breath in. And gently come back up through the center. Let your arms come up and overhead again. Inhale. Exhale, leaning to the other side. Lower the hand and then stretch up and lean. Any amount. If you'd like, you can circle the top arm or bring your hand behind you. Either one is fine. Just thinking about curling the chest open, staying grounded in the legs. And we gently come back through the center. Breathe in and breathe out. If your legs are crossed, you may want to switch the cross of your legs. We'll do one more little flow here. Another option would be to come onto your knees. So standing on your knees if you're on your mat. So we're doing a little half sun salute. So sometimes standing on the knees feels a little more grounding than cross-legged. And sometimes being in a cross-legged position doesn't feel super comfortable. So if you're feeling that and you want to switch it up, feel free to do that. I'll keep the block and strap here for now as a reminder to keep hugging the legs in, keep pressing the feet down, keep lifting the chest up and lengthening my back. And let's start to flow a little here. Arms sweep up as you inhale. If you're standing on the knees, you might lift the hips up off of the heels. As you exhale, fold forward. Hands can come to the thighs or reach for the ground. If you're on your mat, you might be in child's pose. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen and look forward. As you exhale, refold. And then rise back up. Take your time, stretch your arms overhead. And exhale your hands through heart center. Grounding, pausing here. Inhale to stretch your arms back up or keep on flowing here. Exhale, dive over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your back. Exhale to refold, drop it. Rise back up, feet press down or knees press down. Stretch up. Hands through heart center, Anjali Mudra. Palms pressing together, right and left side of the body meeting in the middle. Keep going. We're going to do this twice more. Arms stretch up. Exhale to fold to any amount. Inhale to lift halfway, look forward. Exhale, refolding. Inhale, rise back up. And hands through heart center, exhale. This is the last one. Find your rhythm, find your breath, arms up, inhale. Exhale, dive forward, exhale. Lift halfway, lengthen your back, hips draw back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. Stretch your arms up. Hands through heart center, exhale. Pausing here for a moment, finding a little lift of your chest towards your thumbs, your elbows are wide, collarbones broad, inhale. And exhale, let's release the hands, and if you have your strap in block still, you can release that as well. If you are on your mat, I would recommend coming onto your back next for the next part of the practice. We'll start to bring the right knee in towards the chest. So scooping the knee in, holding onto the back of the leg or the front of the shin, your call. Kind of squeezing in towards your chest or your armpit even. An option here would be to use your strap to assist you. So you might take your strap behind your leg and hug in. That can be helpful. So just knowing that the strap is here to help you if you want it. And if you're holding on with the hands, just trying to take a gentle clasp of the hands. Gentle clasp, not to stress the hands out. We'll just start a little rocking side to side. Maybe if that feels good to you, just moving your hip a little bit. Maybe even circling out. If you are lying on your back, you might choose to extend your left leg down towards the bottom of the mat. It might feel interesting. And let's gently come back through the center and start to extend the leg. You can bring your strap to the bottom of your foot if you have it and start to reach the heel away from your body. Your leg does not have to be straight here. Just thinking about letting the thigh bone come back towards its socket. Wherever you are, breathing. If you're on your back, your heel will be lifting up towards the ceiling. Another option here, if you do not have a strap, is to just use your hands to hold on to the back of the leg. It's fine. I find it to be a little bit challenging sitting in a chair, but it's still possible. Still gets that stretch in the back of the leg, hinge at the hip. Wherever you are, take another breath in. And then bring your right ankle to cross over the left thigh. Figure 4. Here for a moment, settling in, maybe finding a little bit of rocking side to side. A little bit of a movement of your ankle, even taking big circles. If you are circling your ankle, go ahead and take that in the other direction. Here for another breath in. As you exhale, release your leg back down. 2 feet flat on the ground. Breathe in and breathe out. Sensing any shifts in the body, anything that feels different. I kind of feel like I'm leaning over to the left a little bit. My right leg feels a little lighter, a little more spacious. It might feel the same or different for you. Check in. Whenever you're ready, scoop your left leg in, squeezing in. Let's take a few breaths here. So hands can be holding onto your leg, or feel free to snag your strap if that's helpful. I'm thinking about kind of the whole body being involved. This is a whole body practice, whole body pose. We're hinging at the hip, getting this movement in the hip if you'd like. And we're also pressing into the other foot, pressing into the ground, lifting the chest, lengthening the back, and softening the hands. We're not trying to tense the hands up here. When you're ready, you can start to straighten that leg. Take your time. And when I say straighten, I mean extend to any degree. Feel free to keep a bend in your knee. That's fine. Just allowing your thigh bone to draw back towards its socket. Wherever you are, breathing here. Of course, you can hold on with your hands. That's fine. I find the strap to be very helpful. As you can see, I'm grabbing pretty close to my foot, letting my arms be relaxed. Not pulling in with my arms really tight. You don't want to tense the arms up here. Just taking another breath in. Exhale to move towards your figure four, like to just guide the foot over there. And take a few breaths here to explore. Find a little movement if you'd like. Maybe circle the ankle. What is your breath doing now? Slowly release this side. Bring the sole of the foot back down onto the earth. Regrounding. Find your Tadasana, or if you're on your back, laying flat, extending the legs towards the bottom of the mat and gently hugging the legs together. Wherever you are, finding that feeding energy up through the legs, lengthening the sides of the body, reaching through the top of the head, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, if you are lying on your back, I'd recommend bringing the soles of the feet on the ground, kind of like a bridge prep pose. We'll do a little cat-cow motion in the spine. So if you're lying on your back, definitely the movement of your spine will be less than if you're seated in a chair, but either one is fine. We're going to get that same inner awareness movement of the spine in two directions. I'm just exploring where you are. If you are on your back, you'll feel your spine begin to press into the ground. If you're seated in your chair, start to press the spine towards the back of your chair. This is our cat pose, rounding in. As you inhale, let your chest lift forward, up, look up even maybe. And if you're on your back, your spine will move away from the ground. Find this little arch of your back. And just keep on flowing from those two shapes, rounding for your cat. Inhale, arching the back. Keep on flowing, letting your breath guide your movement. Breath as your teacher. Your inhale naturally brings cow pose. Your exhale naturally brings cat pose. Or maybe it's the opposite. Just know that anything I'm offering, these breath cues and movements, might be a little bit different for you. So explore. Take about 2 more rounds here. Moving the spine any amount. Might be even an imagined movement. Let's come back through the center. Sitting up tall, breathing in and out. Whenever you're ready, you can move towards a resting place of your choice. You may want to find a little bit of covering, a blanket. I'm going to just cover up with a blanket for a little extra weight, a little bit of grounding. And just settling in here for the next few moments, taking up a little more space, inching your shoulders wider, letting your body soften, your jaw unhinge. You can close your eyes if you'd like. I'll read that excerpt from Deborah Adele again to lead us into Shavasana. When I finish reading, we'll rest for about a minute or so, just letting the practice settle with you. The breath as teacher. What if we could trust life like we trust the breath? What if we could take in all the nourishment of the moment and then let it go fully, trusting that more nourishment will come? More than welcome to stay where you are for longer. And when you're ready, just slowly starting to move your body. Maybe take a full body stretch in some way. And starting to move towards a place where you're seated upright again, alert and at ease at the same time. If you'd like, you can bring the palms together in front of the heart, sealing this practice with just a moment in quiet, in gratitude for the breath, in gratitude for all those who have freely shared these practices over time. Breathing in, receiving. Breathing out, letting go, and giving freely. Thank you for sharing in this practice. I'll see you next time.